That place we were sent to, the land of the dead, it strikes me as odd that it was submerged underwater. And did you see those columns of ice, the ones descending from the surface all the way to the floor? Afterwards, I realized what they reminded me of. The columns were reminiscent of a phenomenon known as brinicles. When seawater freezes and turns to ice, salt concentrates are released into the surrounding water. This brine is heavier than the water around it due to its higher density. It therefore sinks deeper into the ocean. As it flows towards the ocean floor, its lower temperature results in the formation of ice. And as this process continues, it can produce column-like ice structures. Any living creatures unfortunate enough to become entangled in these can be frozen solid. Little wonder they're called icicles of death. Come to think of it, when I saw that coffin, I was reminded of a rather unorthodox type of psychotherapy. The patient lies down inside a coffin, which is then closed, plunging them into darkness. In being subjected to this simulated experience of being laid to rest, they may find a measure of peace and comfort. If you spot a coffin that seems suitable for this, why not climb inside and see what happens?
His name is Neil. Neil Vanna.
Neil Vanna? Oh, here I thought he said Nirvana. There must still be tar in my ears.
It seems that the ID card you brought back belonged to the man himself. Charlie helped me dig up the details.
The card was issued by Bridges years ago, when the chiral network was still being developed. Records confirm that Vanna has been dead for some time.
So he was a member of Bridges?
No, it doesn't look like he was.
Vanna was a porter contracted by Bridges to handle jobs with special requirements. Like all of you, he was a doom sufferer who leveraged his abilities.
A top-notch porter by all accounts. He worked the Mexican border. Brought over all kinds of useful stuff.
Ostensibly, resources and medical supplies. But in truth, he transported drugs and other prohibited goods.
So he was a smuggler.
Vanna's ID card served as a key to some of Bridges' secure installations, though only a select few, of course. Specifically, those dedicated to the BB experiments, along with various other medical facilities.
I believe that the place you went to for counseling was one of them.
But everything in that area was obliterated 11 years ago by a void out, one in which Neil Vanna died. And from which you alone, Sam, were fortunate enough to emerge alive. Prior to all that, your counseling sessions made you a regular visitor, yes? Well, records indicate Vanna frequented the same facility. There's a fair chance that the two of you might have met before. Do you recall seeing him?
It's hardly surprising. A great number of people pass through there all the damn time. No one would remember them all.
Sam, it's Charlie. We've received your next assignment. This main order can be undertaken by accessing the delivery terminal at Eastport Knot. While you attend to that, we'll continue our investigation into Neil Vanna. I'll keep you posted.
Neil Vanna, a porter employed by Bridges. A man not unlike yourself, it would seem. But why did he appear in that so-called Nirvana, or rather, that realm of the dead? And then there's the fact that he clearly spoke Lou's name. If we have another opportunity to visit that mysterious realm, then perhaps we can get some answers. By the way, Sam, you saw Tomorrow with the apples in the corridor, right? It seems she was training, trying to gain more control over her temporal abilities. Taking green unripened apples and attempting to age them until they're red and ready to eat. But she's still having trouble getting it just right. She's taking it too far and making them rotten. There's no need to rush things. She'll get the hang of it soon enough. In the meantime, let's continue to support her.
From this location, you should be able to see some snow-capped mountains, Sam. Your next objective can be found in the heart of them, in the form of the Eastern Environmental Observatory. Once again, you'll need to link up several sites en route to this destination. The first such site to be brought online is the Chronobiologist Shelter, which is due west. Pick up the main order on this delivery terminal in order to begin.
Creation. Delivery. Data usage is restricted.
Good to see a friendly face. It's been a while since I've had visitors. I'll check your cargo right away. Not a single scratch. A fitting testament to your skill. How did you manage to handle so many orders at once? That's some efficient portering. I should have no trouble continuing my research. All right. Use your key. Finally part of the chiral network. I've been looking forward to this moment. I should be able to conduct research at a faster pace than ever. Please accept this by way of thanks. I picked up this accessory in the UCA. You should try attaching it to your backpack. Who knows? It might bring you good luck. Oh, and in case you're curious, the cargo you brought me contained a stock of cryptobiote variants. I've taken to calling them chronobiotes. They appear to alter your body's internal clock for a brief period when consumed. Just another example of the many ways the Death Stranding is wreaking havoc on our perception of time. It's introduced us to Timefall and the beach, as well as the EEs that brought about previous mass extinctions. You know, I can't help but wonder if extinction entities are related to chronobiotes. Anyway, I'm glad you're here. Especially with the strange incidents we've been hearing about lately. Well, the porter who used to come through here was attacked by something. It was bad enough that they gave up doing delivery work for good. They still managed to deliver my last shipment, but it was covered with strange dents and markings. When I asked what had happened, they just said it was the work of the Headless Rider. People have been talking about the Rider for a while, actually. And there's this guy not far from here who's dedicated to studying strange mysteries like that. I sent him some details, and he said he'd need to ask around for someone to lend him a hand. You should keep your eyes peeled for trouble until he figures out what we're dealing with. So I've heard a little bit about Hartman's research via the hydrologist. You know, the mass extinctions of trilobites, ammonites, and the dinosaurs. Well, apparently, all these ancient events were set in motion by extinction entities. I'm told there was a human extinction entity as well. And that EEs had umbilical cords linking them to the beach, which could be why their fossilized remains were somehow unaffected by the passage of time. The parasitic chiromicrobes that latch onto chronobiotes also originally came from the beach. So, you could even think of them as another form of umbilical tether linking their hosts to the other side. It's a pattern that shows we can't discount the possibility that a new EE might yet be born. And the reason why I believe further study of these microbes could help prevent another extinction event. Now that I have a chiral network connection, this sort of research should finally be possible. I hope this isn't the last time we meet. With no one else around to make deliveries, I was beginning to think I'd have to call it quits. Oh, by the way, a suborder just got posted about those strange incidents I mentioned. You can check it on the delivery terminal here. It's probably in your interest to find out more anyway, given how much time you spend outside. And, who knows, you might even be able to convince them to join the chiral network, too. I just hope we can get to the bottom of things sooner rather than later. Thanks again, and take care.
Well then, Sam. By the way, we have info on Nilvana to share. Could you join me on the bridge?
Commencing route creation. Delivery route finalized.
Drawbridge credentials verified.
Oh, hey. I appreciate you coming all this way. Allow me to take a look at that cargo you carry. Took good care of this, I see. Ought to make my research easier. You completed all these orders for me. I really appreciate it. So, I finished examining that cargo you brought on over. Now, I know this isn't your fault, but this thing has been absolutely savaged. I highly doubt human or animal involvement. Kinda looks as though it was battered with a large heavy pole, but... And there are also parts that appear to have been melted. Not to mention the unusual tie marks imprinted on the surface. Putting all the pieces together, I reckon this is likely the work of the Headless rider I've heard rumors about. In all honesty, though, seems like it was set upon by not one, but several riders. Sheer damage is proof enough of that. Yeah, we're looking for multiple villains, I'd say. They won't come out and wreak havoc at just any old time. There's gotta be a reason they attack travelers when they do. Mind helping me figure out what that reason is? That way we can set the minds of porters like you at ease. Once we know more about them, I can use that chiral network to enlighten everyone else, too. Indulge my curiosity and I'd be happy for you to hook me up, is what I'm trying to say. If you're keen to do so, and pick up the sub-order I posted. I've included the relevant information in the order details. Be sure to look it over should you choose to take it.
Okay, Sam, why don't we begin by considering what we already know? If nothing comes to mind, take a look at the order details to refresh your memory.
Engaging weapons restrictions.
Take care, Sam. Sam, the Headless Rider attacks were reported in this area. Look around. See anything strange?
That's a real tongue stinger.
Sam, about the Headless Riders we're after. I've been thinking, what if we were to try replicating the conditions of the previously reported attacks? A road at night, a tri-cruiser. I've got it. We should take an evening spin near the site the attacks took place.
This is what you're good at, remember?
What you said.
What's happened to it? Don't tell me it's been hacked. Whoa! When do highways float in the air? Up, up, and away! Highway in the sky. And now we find ourselves trapped. You ready for anything, Sam?
Welcome, Sam. I prepared this little stage here special for you and you alone. I know you're gonna make the most of it.
Hey, these must be ghost mechs?
suppose there were no Headless riders after all, then. We need to destroy them all. Let's get the move on, Sam. Sam, try ramming their vehicle with yours. That's how you do it, Sam. One. You're a pro. See it, Sam? One of them is different from the others. That has to be the unit that's hacked into the autopaper. Fought, Sam. I think you took care of every last one. Highway disappearing? This isn't good, Sam. Whoa! Ah! Whew. Seems the day is ours, Sam. Oh, what a relief to have made it safely back to the ground. There's no sign of our adversaries. That strange road has vanished without a trace, too. Everything seems fine now. Let's go and give the ghost hunter the good news.
Thanks to you, we can finally close the book on the mystery of the Headless Riders. Troubling rumors like that have a way of putting everyone on edge. Makes them want to stay inside all the more. Out here especially. Saw too many people cutting ties and keeping to themselves. Can't say any of us anticipated that the riders would be ghost mechs, though. And those mechs have something to do with Higgs, too. Isn't that right? Well, now that we know the truth of the matter, we can come up with ways to combat them and their tactics. Then, maybe it'll feel like we're actually making some progress at long last. You know, you've got the makings of a real ghost hunter. I've shared with you some schematics for my favorite tools of the trade. A rocket box and a camo suit pattern. The rocket box fires MP warheads. It's a portable, versatile weapon that's perfect for dealing with all kinds of enemies. I'd heard a few stories about the red-clad warriors before you came through. That Higgs might be the one leading them came as quite the shock. He's the same bastard that's been distributing weapons all over the place, right? Trying to get everyone to take up arms and sow discord. Forming lasting connections is out of the question. If we can't find the spread of weapons and violence is a lot more terrifying than any sort of paranormal activity, if you ask me. Ever since the death Stranding, sightings of paranormal phenomena have been steadily increasing. Though a lot of these can be chalked up to simple misperception or misinformation. Among all these claims, and as a ghost hunter, I investigate the more promising reports to see if there's any truth to them. Unfortunately, it's not feasible for me to go out and do research right now. So I have to rely on others to do my fieldwork for me. You've done some wonderful work for me, Sam. So much so that I'd love it if you could continue. I intend to carry on with my research. There are a few things that I'm still pretty curious about. Maybe they're nothing more than baseless rumors, but if any seem promising, I'll contact you via the SSS. I hope I can count on you when the time comes. Good luck with your deliveries. Take care. We can speak again soon.